Host Dieter McBusiness, America's favorite white Anglo-Saxon Protestant, gone left coastal. Joined with me, as always, is the one and only Stat Pat, stateless patriot. We are California lefties talking to you about national politics. Tonight, we are reacting live to Trump's special address to the nation about the war he started with Iran. Stat Pat, what are your expectations for this speech?
It can really go it can really go a few different ways. I expect it to be more the same that he's been saying, just like he's going to speak out of both sides of his mouth. Like he's going to say that Ablan's abilities militarily are totally obliterated, but this is going to have to go on for a few more weeks. He's also going to say, you know, we need NATO's help, and also we don't need them. So, like, what? Why are they? They're ungrateful. Um, he's going to make it seem like we've already won, and then say like, oh, and that's why we're going to begin a ground invasion. Like maybe he's actually going to reveal like that's why. I mean, that's why we had the whole build up there so far. We have thousands and thousands of troops in the region right now. So it it could be a whole number of things, but I expect it to be rambling and incoherent, and we're not probably not going to get much out of it.
Yeah, I don't expect much in the way of like real facts or truth or data, but let's go ahead and bring up the screen here. No, it's just more of Chris Hayes. Um, we will bring you the speech live when Trump takes the stage. He owes pretty much always fashionably late, so we got some time to kill before he actually gets on
Yeah,
TV.
not really
My
surprised.
expectations are just a whole lot of bullshit, right? I mean, he's just going to feed us all this garbage about us winning and taking out the Ayatollah and regime change. And this is good regime change, is basically going to be the argument. We're the
Yeah,
US. We can't do anything wrong. We've always been a force for good in the world. You know, all that American exceptionalism bullshit. For
yeah,
those of you who haven't checked out my third essay, a lot of people say it's my best. The right wing magic trick, how American exceptionalism became American narcissism. American imperialism
yes,
is a product of American exceptionalism.
yeah, yeah. I think the president of Iran put out a letter earlier today to the American people. It is like Iran has had a history that goes back way farther than the U.S. has ever even existed. And we don't engage in imperialism or colonialism. We don't invade anybody. Like this isn't this just isn't what we do historically. This all started, and we got along with the U.S. and the West for a while until 1953
Thank you very much.
and the coup d'état. He actually
My
mentioned
fellow
that.
Americans, good evening. Let me
There we
begin
go.
by congratulating the team at NASA and our brave astronauts on the
Artemis too.
successful launch of Artemis 2. It was quite something.
Yeah, I watched it earlier.
It will be traveling further than any manned rocket has ever flown and will very substantially pass the moon, go around it, and come back home from a distance that has never been done before. It's amazing. They
God,
are on the way, and God
he
bless
looks
them.
so
These are
bad.
brave people. We want to God bless those four unbelievable astronauts.
He
As we
does not
speak this
sound good.
evening, it's been just 1 month since the United States military began Operation Epic Fury, targeting the world's #1 state sponsor of terror, Iran. In these past 4 weeks, our armed forces have delivered swift, decisive, overwhelming victories on the battlefield. Victories like few people have ever seen before.
Right.
Tonight, Iran's Navy is gone. Their Air Force is in ruins. Their leaders, most of them terrorist regime they led, are now dead. Their command and control of
God,
the
it's not even
Islamic
true.
Revolutionary Guard Corps is being decimated as we speak. Their ability to launch missiles and drones is dramatically curtailed, and their weapons factories and rocket launchers are being blown to pieces. Very few of them left. Never in the history of
So we
warfare
all
has
know
an enemy
this.
suffered such clear
None
and
of this is-
devastating large-scale losses in
None of
a
this is true.
matter of weeks. Our enemies are losing in America, as it has been for 5 years under my presidency, is winning, and now winning bigger than ever before.
God.
Before discussing this current situation, I also want to thank our troops for the masterful job they did in taking the country of Venezuela in a matter of minutes. That hit was quick, lethal, violent, and
not what we did.
respected by everyone all over the world. After rebuilding our military during my first term, we have by far the strongest military anywhere in the world. And now we're working along with Venezuela and are, in a true sense, joint venture partners. We're getting along incredibly well in the production and sale of massive amounts of oil and gas, the second largest reserves on Earth after the United States of America.
But it's not actually happening.
We're now totally independent of the Middle East, and yet we are there to help. We
What?
don't have to be there. We don't need their oil. We don't need anything they have, but we're there to help our allies.
Then why are we still
Tonight,
fighting
I want to
Iran?
provide an update on the tremendous progress our warriors have made in Iran and discuss why Operation Epic Fury is necessary for the safety of America and the security of the free world. From the very first day I announced my campaign for president in 2015,
Yes, no, dude.
I
Please do
avowed
tell.
that I would never allow Iran to have a nuclear weapon. This fanatical regime has been chanting death to America, death to
See?
Israel
Just like
for
I said.
47
Pulling out the
years.
classics.
Their proxies were behind the murder of 241 Americans in the Marine barracks bombing in Beirut, the slaughter of hundreds of our service members with
241
roadside bombs.
Marines.
They were involved in the attack on the USS Cole, and they carried out the countless other heinous acts, including the just horrible, bloody atrocities of October 7th in Israel, something that most people have never seen anything like it.
So he's blaming
This
Iran
murderous
for
regime
October 7th.
also recently killed 45,000 of their own people who were protesting in Iran. 45,000 dead. For these terrorists to have nuclear weapons would be an intolerable threat. The most violent and thuggish regime on earth would be free to carry out their campaigns of terror, coercion, conquest, and mass murder from behind a nuclear shield. I will never let that happen, and
Right, but it's
neither
okay
should any
Israel too, though.
of our past presidents. This situation has been going on for 47 years and should have been handled long before I arrived in office. I did many things during my 2 terms in office to stop the quest for nuclear weapons by Iran first. And perhaps most importantly, I killed General Qasem Soleimani in my first term. He was an evil genius, brilliant person, a horrible human being, however, the father of the roadside bomb. And he lived
Another
just
stupid
horrible,
decision.
what he did. Iran would have been perhaps in far better, stronger position. Had he lived, we would have had probably a different conversation tonight. But you know what? We'd still be winning and winning
Killed
big.
him on his way to a
And then,
peace
very
summit.
importantly, I terminated Barack Hussein Obama's Iran nuclear deal, a disaster. Obama gave them $1.7 billion in cash, green cash. Took it out of
He
banks from
unfroze
Virginia,
Iranian
DC,
assets.
and Maryland, all the cash they had. Flew it by airplanes in an attempt to buy their respect and loyalty, but it didn't work.
Oh my God.
They laughed at our president and went on with their mission to
He
have
just
a nuclear bomb.
desanctioned Iranian
His
oil.
Iran deal would have led to a colossal arsenal of massive nuclear weapons for Iran. And they would have had them years ago, and they would have used them. Would have been a different world. There would have been no Middle East and no Israel right now, in my opinion, the opinion of a lot of great experts. had I not terminated that terrible deal. And I was so honored to do it. I was so proud to do it. It was so
God,
bad right from
it
the
was the
beginning.
worst thing you ever fucking did. It's the
Essentially, I
reason
did
we're
what
here right
no other
now.
president was willing to do. They made mistakes, and I am correcting them.
God, it was like
My first
Obama's
preference
best
was
achievement.
always the path of diplomacy, yet the regime continued their relentless quest for nuclear weapons and rejected every attempt at an agreement.
No, they
For
kept
this
on
reason,
abiding
in
by the
June,
deal.
I ordered a strike on Iran's key nuclear facilities, an Operation Midnight Hammer. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. Those beautiful B-2 bombers performed magnificently. We totally obliterated those nuclear sites. The regime then sought to rebuild their nuclear program at a totally different location, making clear they had no intention of abandoning their pursuit of nuclear weapons. They were also rapidly building a vast stockpile of conventional ballistic missiles and would soon have had missiles that could reach the American homeland, Europe, and virtually any other place on Earth. Iran's strategy was so obvious. They wanted to produce as many missiles as possible, and they did, with the longest range possible. And they had some weapons that nobody believed they had. We just learned that out. We took them out. We took them all out so that no one would really dare stop them. And their race for a nuclear bomb, a nuclear weapon like nobody's ever seen before. They were right at the doorstep.
They've been
For
saying
years,
that
everyone
for
has said
fucking
that
30
Iran
years.
cannot have nuclear weapons. But in the end, those are just words if you're not willing to take action when the time comes. As I stated in my announcement of Operation Epic Fury, our objectives are very simple and clear. We are systematically dismantling the regime's ability to threaten America or project power outside of their borders. That means eliminating Iran's Navy, which is now absolutely destroyed, hurting their Air Force and their missile program at levels never seen before, and annihilating their defense industrial base. We've done all of it. Their Navy is gone, their Air Force is gone, their missiles are just about used up or beaten. Taken together, these actions will cripple Iran military, crush their ability to support terrorist proxies, and deny them the ability to build a nuclear bomb. Our armed forces have been extraordinary. There's never been anything like it militarily. Everyone is talking about it, and tonight I'm pleased to say that these core strategic objectives are nearing completion. As we celebrate this progress, we think especially of the 13 American warriors who have laid down their lives in this fight to prevent our children from ever having to face a nuclear Iran. Twice this past month, I have traveled to Dover Air Force Base.
Ever facing a
and
non-nuclear
it's
Iran.
been something. I wanted to be with those heroes as they return to American soil, and I was with them and their families, their parents, their wives, their husbands. We salute them, and now we must honor them by completing the mission for which they gave their lives. And every single one of the people, their loved ones said, please, sir, please finish the job. Every one of them. And we are going to finish the job, and we're going to finish it very fast. We're getting very close. I want
No
to thank
specifics at all.
our
Just
allies
repeating
in the
the
Middle
same
East,
shit.
Israel, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, the UAE, Kuwait, and Bahrain. They've been great, and we will not let them get hurt or fail in any way, shape, or form. Many Americans have been concerned to see the recent rise in gasoline prices here at home. This short-term increase has been entirely the result of the Iranian regime launching deranged terror attacks against commercial oil tankers in neighboring countries that have nothing to do with the conflict.
Well, yeah,
This is
they wouldn't
yet
have done
more
that if you hadn't
proof that
attacked them.
Iran can never be trusted with nuclear weapons. They will use them, and they will use them quickly. It would lead to decades of extortion, economic pain, and instability worse than we can ever imagine.
And it's all your fault,
The
dude.
United States has never been better prepared economically to confront this threat. You all know that we built the strongest economy in history. We're going through it right now, the strongest in history.
bullshit.
In 1 year, we've taken a dead and crippled country. I hate to say that, but we were dead and crippled
Gas is
country
projected to
after the
become $7
last
per gallon
administration
on
and made
average
it the
in the United
hottest
States.
country anywhere in the world by far with no inflation, record-setting investments coming into the United States, over $18 trillion, and the highest stock market ever with 53 all-time record highs in just 1 year. It all positioned us to get rid of a cancer that has long simmered. It's known as the nuclear Iran, and they didn't know what was coming. They've
It's going
never
so
imagined
well.
it.
You're asking for
Remember,
$200
because
billion
of
more
our drill
dollars.
baby drill program, America has plenty of gas. We have so much gas. Under my leadership, we're #1 producer of oil and gas on the planet without even discussing the millions of barrels that we're getting from Venezuela. Because of the Trump
is none.
administration's policies, we produce more oil and gas than Saudi Arabia and Russia combined. Think of that, Saudi Arabia and Russia combined. And that number will soon be substantially higher than that. There's no country like
Maybe
us
like a
anywhere in
decade
the
from
world,
now.
and we're in great shape for the future. The United States imports almost no oil through the Hormuz Strait and won't be taking any in the future. We don't need it. We haven't needed it, and we don't need it. We've beaten and completely decimated Iran. They are decimated, both militarily and economically and in every other way. And
Okay,
the
so withdraw the
countries of the
troops.
world that do receive oil through the Hormuz Strait must take care of that passage. They must cherish it. They must grab it and cherish it. They can do it easily. We will be helpful, but they should take the lead in protecting the oil that they so desperately depend on. So to those countries that can't get fuel, many of which refuse to get involved in the decapitation of Iran, we had to do it
He's
ourselves.
speaking out of both sides of
I
his
have a
mouth again.
suggestion. #1, buy oil from the United States of America. We have plenty. We have so much. And #2, build up some delayed courage. Should have done it before. Should have done it with us, as we asked. Go to the strait and just take it, protect it, use it for yourselves. Iran has been
God.
essentially decimated. The hard part is done, so it should be easy. And in any event, when this conflict is over, the strait will open up naturally. It'll just open up naturally. They're going to want to be able to sell oil because that's all they have to try and rebuild. It will resume the flowing, and the gas prices will rapidly come back down. Stock prices will rapidly go back up. They haven't come down very much, frankly. They came down a little bit, but they've had some very good days over the last couple of days. We've done actually much better than I thought, but we had to take that little journey to Iran to get rid of this horrible threat. With our historic tax cuts, where people are just now talking about receiving larger refunds than they ever thought possible, they are
Not gonna
getting so
happen.
much more money than they thought. That's from the great big beautiful bill. Our economy is strong and improving by the day, and it will soon be roaring back like never before. It will top the levels that it was a month ago. I've made clear from the
Nobody
beginning of
believes this
Operation
anymore.
Epic Fury that we will continue until our objectives are fully achieved. Thanks to the progress we've made, I
Were
can
there
say
the
tonight that
objectives?
we are on track to complete all of America's military objectives shortly,
Which are?
very shortly.
Which are?
We're going to hit them extremely hard over the next 2 to 3 weeks. We're going
Meaning?
to bring them back to the Stone Ages where they belong.
The
In the
fuck?
meantime, discussions are ongoing. Regime change was not our goal. We never said regime change, but regime change has occurred because of all of their original leaders' death. They're all dead. The new group is
It's
less radical and much more
not even
reasonable.
true. Not even
Yet if
true.
during this period of time no deal is made, we have our eyes on key targets. If there is no deal, we are going to hit each and every one of their electric generating plants very hard and probably simultaneously. We have not hit their oil, even though that's the easiest target of all, because it would not give them even a small chance of survival or rebuilding. But we could hit it, and it would be gone, and there's not a thing they could do about it.
But you're not getting
They
hit
have
because
no
you want it. You
anti-aircraft
want to control
equipment.
it.
Their radar is 100% annihilated. We are unstoppable as a military force. The nuclear sites that we obliterated with the B-2 bombers have been hit so hard that it would take months to get near the nuclear dust, and we have it under intense satellite surveillance and control. If we see them make a move, even a move for it, we'll hit them with missiles very hard again. We have all the cards, they have none. It's very important that we keep this conflict
The opposite
in
is true.
perspective. American involvement in World War I lasted 1 year, 7 months, and 5 days.
They control
World
the
War
strait.
II lasted for 3 years, 8 months, and 25 days. The Korean War lasted for
didn't.
3 years, 1 month, and 2 days. The Vietnam War lasted
War
for
II lasted
19
6
years,
years.
5 months, and 29 days. Iraq went on for 8 years, 8 months, and 28 days. We are in this military operation, so powerful, so brilliant, against one of the most powerful countries for 32 days. And the country has been eviscerated and essentially is really no longer a threat. They were the bully of the Middle East, but they're the bully no longer. This is a true investment in your children and your grandchildren's future. The whole world is watching, and they can't leave the power, strength, and brilliance. They just can't believe what they're seeing. They leave it to your imagination, but they can't believe what they're seeing. The brilliance of the United States.
Yeah, this entire thing is just
military.
your imagination.
Tonight,
dude.
every American can look forward to a day when we are finally free from the wickedness of Iranian aggression and the specter of nuclear blackmail. Because of the actions we have taken, we are on the cusp of ending Iran's sinister threat to America and the world. And I'll tell you, the world is watching. And when we do, when it's all over, the United States will be safer, stronger, more prosperous, and greater than it has ever been before. May God bless the men and women of the United States Armed Forces, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you very much, and good night.
God.
That was the President of the United States with a 19-minute address from the Green Room there in the White House addressing the war
All right.
with Iran.
Yeah.
Well,
Just as bad as I thought. Just as bad as I expected.
a lot of lies, a lot of the same talking points.
Yeah, nothing new at all. Just like it's incredible. Like he can't come across as desperate because it doesn't look good. It shows that he doesn't know what he's doing. But anybody who knows Trump for as long as he's been around in politics knows that like that doesn't even matter. He's going to come across. He has already demonstrated time and time again that he doesn't have any fucking idea what he's doing. He's trying to buy time because he has completely lost control of the situation. So he's just letting the cards, the pieces fall where they may.
Right.
It can't be it can't be emphasized enough that Iran has complete control over the strait. They are dictating the terms and duration of this war. Like,
Mhm.
their navy can be destroyed, they can be decimated, but like they can send out small crafts and still implement a ton of damage. You know, they don't need a navy. You know, they don't
Well,
need air superiority because they have tens of thousands of drones in reserve, and they have plenty of targets. They
right.
are a fortified nation. You know, like
Yeah, it's hard to believe, right? I
yeah, for
mean, the
real.
arrogance of the arrogance of America to think that other nations aren't ready for war. When you're in Iran, you've had a long time to prepare for war, right? It's been a really long time since
Exactly.
Iran was at war, and they know that Israel has always wanted war with them,
Bingo.
and so they've been prepared. It's like the Cold War; like they didn't waste any time. I'm sure it's been
Yeah.
a legislative priority, and I know to its own detriment. Like it's kind of like they had to spend all this money on weapons to protect
Yeah,
themselves because
they basically had no other choice because they understand like the danger that it is that they face with Israel as a nearby neighbor. Like
Right.
it is far more dangerous for the world for Israel to have a nuclear arsenal than Iran.
Right.
It can't be overstated. They've been saying that Iran's weeks away or whatever from a nuclear weapon for over 30 years.
Right.
Trump saying how, oh, if I hadn't stepped in and done something, Iran would have been right on the brink of developing a nuclear weapon. No, the fuck they weren't. Like even
I know.
after he ended the JCPOA in 2018, they were still abiding by the terms of the deal, and the IAEA was still coming in there and were like, yeah, they're not enriching past uh they're not enriching uranium past levels outlined in the deal. So it's like it's just he's entirely full of shit, without a doubt. Fucking, I got chatter here. Thank you, Lima Cake. I wonder if
What did Lima
people.
Kick say?
I wonder if people are believing this shit. LOL. I mean,
Yes.
enough people
1/3
are.
of the country.
And
1/3 of the
still
country.
still too many. Yeah,
Yeah,
at least
but
1/3 of voters. That's for
yeah, it's
sure.
1/3 of voters. It's probably 1/5 of the country, but
Yeah,
it's at
it's
least
still too many.
1/3
Yeah,
1/3 of voters.
it's
That's what they're polling. That's what the polling is at. His popularity is right at 33%. My
yeah.
fucking thesis is correct. My
Mhm.
thesis from 4 years ago
Yeah,
about how big MAGA is and what defines them
yeah,
was right on the money.
yeah,
It was right on the fucking money since before we started working together. I think.
yes, yeah. When I
Because you
first,
came along, we started working together with the end of my Who Are MAGA series, I think.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, you're absolutely right, and it just goes to show they will literally just follow and just gobble up anything that he spews out. But like the rest of the world sees through it, which is why piece by piece, Europe, our allies in Europe, are dismantling our relationship, especially in terms of our military over there. Um,
Right.
I'm surprised he didn't go on more of a bigger screed against NATO because there's been signaling that they want that the Trump administration wants to leave NATO, which would be, for one, pretty much impossible. You wouldn't be able to leave NATO without an entirely new um, organization, a new treaty being implemented, for one, and it's like if you want, the strait would never have been closed if you and Israel didn't attack Iran. It's really that simple. It's like, um, and I think Israel even came out and said, when it came to the prospect of ground troops and U.S. boots on the ground in Iranian territory, that Israeli troops wouldn't even be involved. It's just like, wow, that just it's so in character. It's not even goddamn funny.
Right. Yeah, I mean, he's on brand tonight. That's
Hmm.
what I saw. I
Mhm.
mean, he's just the same goddamn talking points, and people are too stupid to know the difference who are already MAGA. Like,
And he
where
sounded
it's going to take
horrible
a while
too.
to chip away at that 33%. But when Nixon retired or resigned, do you know what his popularity numbers were? What his approval rating was?
It was pretty abysmal, wasn't it?
It was 25%,
Yeah.
which is
Uh,
actually pretty high considering the man was about to resign to avoid embarrassment.
yeah. Yeah. Lima Cake also says one more thing. When Trump says or implies that Iran is responsible for October 7th, it sounds completely tone deaf to me. Do you think that resonates with Trump's core base? Do people believe that? It doesn't even matter, honestly. They'll literally just repeat anything he says. They won't question it. They won't
Yeah.
even like second guess it. They won't stop to reflect on it for even a second. They'll just repeat whatever he says. And also, the entire Washington establishment, like the political um, machine, as it were, uh, between the Democrats and the Republicans, they have continuously repeated this notion that Iran is the biggest state sponsor of terrorism in the world, and that you even have Kamala Harris saying Iran is the biggest threat to the United States. They're the biggest. They're just the biggest threat. It's like I don't see Iran invading southern Lebanon. I don't see Iran committing genocide on the Gaza Strip. I don't see Iran invading Venezuela and kidnapping their leader. I don't see um, Iran uh, cracking. Well, I mean, I'm not going to like defend everything Iran does. It's clearly like it's a theocratic nation that is oppressive and brutal. But we would not be here today if not for Operation Ajax, which we brought up on the channel before. And the Iranian president actually brought up that operation in an address. Well, I guess it was like a supposed letter to Americans. I think Midas Touch covered it. And he brought up the 1953 operation that overthrew Iran's government and installed the Shah. The Shah was a brutal dictator who was loyal to Western powers because the West wanted access to their natural resources. They wanted their oil. And eventually, over time, the Iranians were fed up. And then you had the Arab Spring, the Islamic Revolution in 1979, and it's been the same government ever since then. And of course, Israel and the United States have never let that go. They have Iran's always been like the end goal, so to speak. So this has been long-standing geopolitical doctrine by the U.S. and Israel since then.
Yeah. Yeah,
but like nobody wants to bring it up. Like the media is not doing a damn good job. They never talk about it because they cannot paint the U.S. in a bad light. But it's like you have to come face to face with your past. A lot of the people involved.
Oh yeah, that's my favorite. Let's move on.
God,
elections
so
are
fucking
about
what a Democrat thing to say
the future. People are forward looking. It's like, well, you got to resolve the past to create a better future, dumbass. Yes. All this shit that's going on is about the past. All this shit in the Middle East is about like when the English generals came in and redefined borders and it fucked everything up.
Exactly. No,
foreign interventionism is what created the tumult that defines the Middle East today.
Exactly. Yeah, and there's
at least we have clarity on this issue though, and this is kind of a both sides issue now. Is just no one really wants foreign interventionism anymore, or no one wants foreign wars. I think if you asked a lot of conservatives, should we go assassinate this dictator or that dictator, they'd probably say, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, mindlessly.
But that's interventionism. That's not military foreign interventionism, but that's still interventionism.
Yeah, they don't second guess it at all. They don't think about the ramifications. They don't think about the long-term consequences. Like, for fuck's sake, military action that was taken, say, let me give you an example. You have the U.S. Getting involved in the Middle East and doing strikes here and there through the 80s and 90s and whatnot. It just creates people that are more it creates sympathizers with resistance movements. So it's no wonder you get terrorist attacks in the West, because the West is the one that made martyrs out of these people. They and their families. So it's the same thing. It's continued throughout recent history too. It's like we wouldn't create more like ISIS members, I guess, for example, if if the West and Israel weren't involved with imperialism and funding paramilitary groups and just creating just conflicts and quagmires in the Middle East for years and years and years. You make people more sympathetic to the extremist elements in those in the region by fucking the region up. It's like after October 7th. Beforehand, Palestinians were not very sympathetic to Hamas. They did not have much support for Hamas. But after October 7th and the obvious disproportionate response to it by Israel, all of a sudden, yeah, I think I support Hamas more because they actually show that they're more of a resistance force that can actually um, put a front to this, like actually protect us in some way or another. Because the opposite would be just to surrender, and they never wanted that to begin with. They never wanted to be part of Israel. They wanted to be their own country, their own culture, which was never going to be allowed anyway because Israel controls the borders of Gaza, and it's like, of course, like colonial powers, imperialist powers, they don't give a fuck about what a population of any given country thinks. They're so arrogant. When they went into this, they thought like, oh, well, Iranians are obviously going to rise up against their government. We're gonna bomb them. We're gonna take out their defenses and everything, and we're gonna be seen as liberators. And the exact opposite has happened. It goes back to American exceptionalism, which turns
Yep.
into American narcissism.
Yeah, somebody's been watching my essays. Pinkerbell,
I've heard you say
it.
it. I've heard you say it enough times. I mean, it's entirely true. Thank you for joining.
It's one of the more important themes that we harp on here. So I was just checking presidential approval numbers at the end of their term, and Nixon has the lowest since Truman, and Nixon's was at 24 when he resigned. Truman was at 32.
Really?
Finished at 32, which is interesting. I guess that was reaction to dropping the bomb.
Well, because I think his last year was like 53, 52.
52 was his last year because Eisenhower took up the Oval Office from 53 to the beginning of 61.
That's right.
And then JFK took it over. There's no numbers here for JFK, by the way.
Interesting.
Richard Nixon was 24. Truman was 32. Carter was 34, and W. Bush was 34. Donald Trump was 34 in the end of 2021, or the beginning of 2021, right before Biden got sworn in.
Yeah.
And Biden was at 40 disapproval or 40 approval when he left office.
Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting. I guess it really depends on what, like, because the media definitely plays a big role, and the thing is, I don't think anyone is meeting the moment. There's like too much sane washing. I don't know if you've heard that term. That's going on, making it seem like, oh yeah, like, well,
it's just normalizing.
Yes, yeah.
It's just people think it's normal.
Yeah, like
it's not normal.
And I was putting, giving my input here and there throughout his address. It's like, what are the goals? What are we actually doing there? What are we there for? Like,
right. The oil.
Yeah, like what are we like? Well, obviously, but like they can't come out and say that. And obviously, Israel dictates this more than anybody's willing to admit. But like, there's no clear, distinctive goals that he can get out there and say, well, we need to do this specifically, and then this will happen, and it will be good for us because we did that thing. He can't even do that. He can't, like it. Like, they don't want to admit that in order to achieve any actual clear-cut, distinctive goals that could change the whole dynamic of the conflict. They don't want to admit that would require ground troops just because
Right.
of the nature of the
Yep.
conflict
And the terrain.
Yes, exactly. Um, and they can't admit that Iran has more control over the conflict than anybody's willing to admit, because they are actually allowing ships through, but of course they're extorting them. They're like, "Oh, you want to get out of the strait? $2 million, cough up." And they're so they're so obsessed with getting the market stabilized, especially when it comes to oil, that they literally unfroze sanctions on Iranian oil just to see if that would make a difference in the markets. But all of it is temporary. There was clear market manipulation the past couple weeks, all at Trump's fingertips with True Social. He would say on, I think it'd be Friday, he would say like, "Yeah, we're close to a deal. It's all gonna be good. We're in talks. The conflict's coming into an end. Blah 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 blah," and that would lower the You could probably say it Monday, but that would like lower the oil prices and whatnot. But then he would turn around on Friday and be like, "Oh, we're still in this, and we're going to see this to the end. 3 or 4 more weeks of this conflict." So that way, people who bet on that, they it's that disgusting. People who bet on oil prices rising
Yeah. I
can
know.
then sell off right before he says again on Monday that we're finally reaching a resolution and whatnot. So that way prices go back down. They're literally betting on the prices going up or going down, and people are making hundreds of millions of fucking dollars off of it. It's insider trading, like clear cut, but like of course you can't 100% prove it, but you can see that there's some sort of manipulation going on. It's clear as day. It's absolutely disgusting. Meanwhile, people are dying. The price of everything's going up. And it's not just gas too. Like
I
fertilizer
know.
can't
It's
get. Yeah,
I saw some charts recently. Something like going out to eat has gone up 38% over the last like 2 years or something.
yeah.
3 years
It's
maybe.
just gonna get worse. We need.
Everything's so fucking expensive now. We never go out to eat. Like it was my
I feel
birthday
it.
yesterday, so I ordered a steak from a restaurant and had it delivered. Like
Yeah.
that was my fucking birthday treat. That was my birthday dinner.
Well, there you go. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been It's been kind of fucked up for me as well. Then again, I did lose my second job. I think I might
Oh
actually,
yeah.
I think I might actually show up there tonight just for like an April Fool's joke. But I'm gonna wear my old uniform back when I worked for them, like 7 years ago, and just be like,
Right on.
"Hey." Lima Cake says, "Also great convo. Happy birthday, Deether."
Oh,
And
thanks, man.
there were a lot of bad lines, but we're going to bond them back to the Stone Age. Was crazy. Yeah, I literally remember. I think I said like, "What the fuck" to that shit. Absolutely insane. It's such early 2000s language. Do you think that framing and the other greatest hits still works? Like I said, for a handful of people, it does. For a handful of Trump supporters, I mean, you can go to any like brain dead, hyper conservative, MAGA entrenched um, Facebook pages or subreddits or Twitter accounts or whatever. And there are people that are just that sadistic and barbaric who don't see any value in human life. Only like Trump good, like go team go, and that's it. They don't give a fuck about like shared humanity with anybody. They just want to
Right.
feel like they're a part of a winning team and shit.
Right.
As long as we can own the libs and stick it to the libtards, it just doesn't matter. Enough people like are like aware of how bad this is, but are just kind of quiet about it, because obviously, like you look at the polling numbers, even since before this conflict started, it never polled well. It still doesn't poll well. I think one out of four Republicans, like just like any Republican, any average, uh, Republican voter doesn't agree with the Iran war and doesn't support it, and that's a substantial number, because like
Yeah.
it it's refreshing to know that enough people are not in lockstep with him, but there still is that diehard MAGA fan base that is still 95, 100% with him, like all the way through, because they are incapable of giving anything a second thought, researching anything, stopping and speculating, or having any sort of introspection on what they believe, what they're saying, what their opinions are.
Yeah. That's how I feel too.
Yeah.
I might call it an early night. This was lame.
I agree. Yeah. Yeah. It fucking absolutely sucked. Have you been
What
following
else
it?
is going on?
Well,
Yeah.
there's Hasan Piker being dragged by third way Democrats.
Yeah, I talked a little bit about it on my This Space episode earlier today.
Oh yeah. How did that go?
It was good. We were talking about how the Joe Rogan of the left comparison is ridiculous because
Yeah.
not just for obvious reasons, but also for just thinking about how they actually create content where Joe Rogan is interviewing someone for like 3 hours,
Mhm.
whereas Hasan is like streaming for hours and hours on end.
Yes,
And
it's different.
every now and then will interview someone, but interviews aren't his bread and butter.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah. No, it's they.
Everyone's on Hasan. I said that one of the things that it makes him a target is his fucking name, Hasan. Like, it's a Muslim name,
Yeah.
and that doesn't help his cause.
Yeah.
He's tried forever to explain that he is anti-Zionist, not anti-Semitic
Mhm.
or anti-Jew, whatever the fuck the word is going to be that you're going to choose.
Yeah.
And people don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
And he said he's haunted by saying that America deserved 9/11, and then he walked that back, but like nobody cares.
Yeah. And nobody cares
Um,
about the context of that quote either.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like it goes beyond him as a person. I mean, there's still lingering Islamophobia. That's definitely true. But when it comes to the actual smears against him, the hit pieces, and the just overall slander and mischaracterization and lack of charitability just towards him as a person, it's not about him in general. It's the fact that he has a huge platform, which is why we like Democratic strategists right after Kamala lost were like, well, we really do need like a Joe Rogan of the left. We need someone to reach people. I mean, yeah, you got Hasan Piker right there,
Right.
and then you got
Right.
and then you got like people were saying like, oh, Democrats have lost touch with young white men. Why? Like, what do we have to do? What message do we have to put out there to gain their support? Oh, I don't know. Look at Graham Plattner. Like the
Yeah,
majority of his
exactly.
the majority of
He's
his
got
support.
he's in his 60s. He's in the 60s now with his polling. I think it might be 66.
I think he's at 55%, whereas Janet Mills is 28%.
No. He's no. He's at the 60s.
Now he is, yeah. Shit.
Yeah.
Well, I think he's going to win that primary handily, which I'm really fucking happy about. But they're like, a huge majority of his support does come from young white men. So it's like,
Right.
wow, just take after him, or wow, Hasan Piker has
We
a
watched
huge
that
audience.
Alex Wagner bit the last time, didn't we? Did I watch that with you? Alex Wagner. She was talking about how, Plattner's plus 38 right now. He's at 66%. Mills is at 28%.
That's awesome.
So he's going to be the next senator out of Maine.
Yeah.
Barring catastrophe.
Right.
But he's already survived. He's already survived. Well, he had a huge jump. He was at +7, +5 in early March.
He's just been pulling away. I love it.
and now he's just dominating.
Yeah, you love to see it.
Love to see it.
Yeah, like I mean, some of the support he has, and some of the support Hassan Piker has, but the fact that it challenges the status quo, the neoliberal establishment, and the narratives that they all stick to,
Mm-hmm.
they wouldn't dare. Like they have to lobby smears against them because they actually challenge power. They actually attack democratic leadership. It's why blue MAGA is constantly thrown at uh, Democrats that buy into that bullshit. Um, he is a like Hassan Piker in general is a nightmare for consultants and
Mm-hmm.
Democratic strategists because he dares challenge the power and influence that Israel has on the United States and
Right.
its politicians,
Yep.
which is just fucking undeniable.
It's kind of basic at this point too.
Yeah,
Like it's just like for us, it's like we've been hearing this shit for years.
yeah,
Latino Mafuna people need to understand the concept of imperial blowback. Yeah. We
big
need to
time.
provide the
That's what I'm
public with a
saying.
more reliable vision of democracy than liberalism can offer.
Yes,
Yeah, when you say
exactly.
we, it's just like the progressive left, and you know, I don't know. I'm gonna bounce soon, but
Mm,
the thing about the problem with the progressive left is unity.
yeah,
We are just always so fractionalized. Everyone's trying to be more pure than the next progressive next to them. Some people say that progressives isn't even the right label.
yeah,
That you got to be a socialist. You got to be a straight up socialist to be a part of the cause. And
sure,
I'm just saying, I think socialism is a subsection of progressivism,
sure.
right? There's three big umbrellas, right?
Hmm.
There's conservatism, there's conservatism, there's liberalism, and then there's progressivism.
Hmm.
But
Yeah,
there is no real liberalism anymore. There's just neoliberalism.
that's exactly it because the narrative being pushed by these consultants and these democratic insiders and whatnot, as well as the media and the mouthpieces that essentially act as a propaganda arm for the Democratic Party, similar to
Right.
how Newsmax and Fox News are the propaganda arm for the Republican Party. Their thing is always, oh, well, we need to appeal to the ever so uh what's the word I'm looking for? Uh, this
The Republican, the independent voter,
yeah, but like imaginary, for lack of a better term, like oblique.
fictional.
Yeah, like they're trying to appeal to this fictional made up voter whereas like who's centrist, who's moderate, who's between both parties and whatnot. And it's like people actually agree on more than you give them credit for if you actually explain the issues. Like
Right.
if you ask people about healthcare and education and whatnot, it's like yeah, no brainer. We need an educated population, and everybody deserves healthcare. The cost of
Right.
living shouldn't be so outrageous. Yeah, it shouldn't be about who is electable or presentable or who isn't fully in lockstep with the American empire or exceptionalism or anything like that. Like it, if you put people out there that actually champion a message that resonates with the people, like Zoran Mamdani, like why is nobody like riding the fuck out of his coattails? It's because he challenges capital. He
Right.
challenges corporations and the wealthy whose only focus is obtaining as much wealth as possible at the expense of everything and everyone else. You know, and so of course they're not going to be as friendly to progressive and socialist voices.
Well, on that note, thank you for watching. Any final thoughts for our audience here? I'm kind of like blasé about this whole fucking thing.
No, I get it.
I'm more interested in the electoralism.
Sure.
I just can't wait for the midterms. It's like this summer. I don't know. I've got to find a distraction hobby. You know, I
Yeah.
need like a video game. I wish there was a new Zelda coming out to like take out 3 months of my life,
Yeah.
but unfortunately, no.
Yeah. I heard the
Oh,
last
here we go.
couple were
Latina
great.
Munafune always hooking us up with good content. In the minds of liberals, we have already achieved the end of history. So they can't account for the rise of fascism or the need to build a democratic alternative to capitalism.
Yeah.
Yes.
I couldn't agree more. This really is
Well
like
put.
the neoliberal ethos. It's why this is literally like abundance in a nutshell. It's like, oh, we don't
Yeah,
need we don't need to strive for better because we already have everything we need. You know, we're wealthy. We're
No,
we're the
remember,
best
this
country.
is another major theme of ours is since 1980, the prerogative of the United States government has been to preserve the individual's ability to get wealthy as opposed to provide the basics for the individual.
Exactly. That's how it's that's how it's been since then. Couldn't
All
agree
right.
more.
Well, thank you guys for watching. Please tune in to us next time. We're going to be doing Mondays and Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, starting next week. And I will be at my usual time of 4 p.m. Pacific on Wednesdays on this space. Until next time, I am Dieter McBusiness, American Wasp, reminding you that you don't get change in America by asking nicely.
Thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you next week.